What is going on, everyone? Phone is acting a little weird. Trying to see how long I have on this. Hopefully, enough to do a whole podcast. It's Abe, your host. Um, so yeah, I've been having trouble with YouTube here lately. And I swear that it's YouTube fucking with me on purpose. I did filmed the whole Julian Assange episode the day after I found out, because I literally found out the night before. In the middle of the night. It was like, well, no, it wasn't the middle of the night. It was probably like 10 something. So I didn't have enough time to record a podcast before work. So then I recorded it the next day before my shift, like earlier in the evening. And YouTube would not let me upload it. So basically, I had recorded it and went home. This is why I think it was just YouTube, and it's in YouTube's fuckery. It's a conspiracy. Because I had perfect internet connection. Because I was watching YouTube on my TV. YouTube was running just fine. Went to upload it off the phone, because I usually upload my podcast. I record it through my phone. Here lately I have been. Unless it's just audio only, and then I do it through the laptop. And was uploading it at the house with perfect internet connection. Internet was acting fine. And it just like downloaded to about like a quarter. And I was like, okay, so it's downloading. Went to sleep, woke up, and it was still stuck at like a quarter. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then, this is 2 days after, by the way, because I work third shift. So by then, this is 2 days after the news broke. This is why it's so frustrating. Because whenever I found out, it was like late night. So I was going to have it upload early that morning. So that way, boom, it's hot off the press. People want to find out what's going on. So it's aggravating, because if it would have got uploaded when it was supposed to get uploaded, I could have brought in a shit ton of traffic for my channel, because it was such a hot topic. But because of YouTube's fuckery, it didn't get uploaded until that night. So basically 2 days had passed since Assange got freed. And I think YouTube does this shit on purpose. Especially with smaller channels and conspiracy channels. Which is why I always say, when people call me grifters, a grifter, like, there is no money to be made if you're doing conspiracy. So honestly, if you are going to grift, and this is advice to anyone who wants to make money as a content creator, do not get into conspiracy. Get into like gaming or prank videos, something stupid like that. Blue pill content. Stay away from conspiracies, man, because this is the type of fuckery you'll have to deal with, especially if you're over the target. Which I believe this channel is, because we get into darker, fucked up subjects. Important subjects, in my opinion. If you are gonna do conspiracy, do like something like cryptids or ufology or paranormal, because that's safe conspiracy. That's like purple pilled shit. Do purple pilled if you're gonna become a conspiracy content creator. So that's the fuckery that I was gonna deal with, or have been dealing with YouTube. So here's kind of an update and what I've been doing with the channel and stuff. So I found out locally at this gas station that is right up the road from where I live that they have a cork board. So here's more advice if you're a content creator, a podcaster. Make flyers. Put boots on the ground. I actually have pretty good luck out of flyers. If anyone doesn't know, me and my wife, we do like ghost hunting, cryptid hunting. We do like little mini documentaries on like paranormal, cryptid, ufology type stuff. Usually when I get a 1 week vacation, that's what I do I get 2 weeks vacation. I get one for my wife's birthday. We take a week off, and then I take a week off in November. November is usually when I do what I want to do, which is like conspiracy related holidays. As far as like, we went to Mothman, Point Pleasant, Hopkinsville, looking for Dogman, checking out Edgar Casey's grave, shit like that. So usually when I go to these places, I bring flyers with me. I'll have like 5 or 6 folded up in my pocket. Like we did a little mini documentary on Pope Lick, Goat Monster, Goatman, which was basically in Louisville. There's this bridge you can go to. And by the way, I work with a contrarian who loves to argue with me about everything that I say. And like, I'm not gonna lie, dude, like when it comes to where I work, I'm like the conspiracy king. And this guy, he was listening to something about a Pope Lick bridge, or a Goatman bridge, and I was like, oh, I've been to the one in Louisville. And he's like, there's not one in Louisville. That's not where it happened. And I'm like, yes, it is. There's like tons of it's the same story for the most part, but there's tons of different bridges where the supposed Goatman escaped from a train that was like moving a circus. He was part of the circus. This is the basic story. He jumped off the train, escaped from the train, and now he lives at a bridge. There's like all over the United States, you could find different Goatman bridges. The one I went to, there was actually 2 deaths that happened there in Louisville. And around Halloween, they actually do like, because it's at a park. It's a park that goes under the bridge. And you can actually, during Halloween, they do like haunted tours. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, so I don't know. This guy, like I said, this guy's just kind of a contrarian. He just loves to argue. Even though I know my facts, and I'll sit here and when he argues with me, I'll just pull it up on Google and go, no, you're wrong. He hates when I do that because he's just, I don't know, every time I say something, he's like, no, that's not it. That's not true. No, it's true. I love him to death. He's a good guy. He's just, I swear he's a contrarian, man. But I bring flyers. So like when I went to this Goatman bridge, I dropped off like 3 or 4 flyers, put a rock on it on a wall, and I ended up getting like 3 new listeners from it. And somebody that just came in hating for no reason. Which you're going to get that. If you ain't got tough skin, you're not going to make it in the internet world as far as content creating. There's just going to be haters no matter what. And actually, if you are a new content creator, look at it like this. If there's going to be haters, use it as content. that I love getting hateful comments because then I get content off of it by responding to it. Free content, baby. But make flyers, man. I'm not the best artist, but I usually get colored pencils and I'll draw out a picture with the name of the podcast, where to find us. I write that down at the bottom. So it's kind of a cool piece of art that someone sees and they're like, oh, that looks cool. What is that? You know? So there's a cork board up the road I'm going to put some flyers at. And I go there often enough that, you know, if someone takes it, I'll just put another one up. Gain some listeners. Put boots on the ground. Because this is, when I was doing a punk band, this is how we got information off. There used to be these things called zines. No one does zines anymore. And as a punk, I actually used to love collecting zines, and it was just homemade magazines that people would make. And they would write articles in them. I don't have the time to do a full-blown zine. And that's another thing too, man. A lot of people, they worry about when the internet goes down. Oh God, that's a huge ass fucking spider. Sorry. I got goosebumps. Nasty looking fucker too. Trying to crawl in my car. But zines, dude. Everyone's always talking about, oh, when they're gonna do Cyber Polygon and they're gonna shut down the internet. What are us podcasters gonna do? And it's like, well, if radio is available, you can set up your own little radio studio. And back in the day, I don't know if the laws have strickened. Is that a word? Stricken, stricted. I don't know if they're more strict now, but back in the day, like William Cooper, King of Conspiracy, he used to do seminars telling people how they could start their own radio station. And as long as you're not overriding a station that already exists, I'm pretty sure it's legal. Like I said, unless the laws have changed, you can broadcast to your whole town. Like where I'm at now, if I set up a radio station, and back in the day it only cost like $200-300, which was a shit ton of money back then, but you could probably do it around the same price of $200-300, maybe $400 with inflation. Let's say $400. I could be totally wrong. If you could save up, you know, several hundred and make your own little radio station, as long as you're not overriding someone else's station and you're broadcasting on a blank AM would be the best way to do it, because there's not a lot of people who are buying time on AM airwaves. Like you can broadcast to your town. I've even thought about doing it in general, like while I'm podcasting, going ahead and go live on radio to anyone who's listening AM. It doesn't hurt. But yeah, so like if for some reason the internet goes down, like we're still gonna have our way to talk to the world and tell the world the truth. Like I'll probably get into like pirate radio if something like that ever happens, because I love podcasting, and podcasting is simply talk radio. But I'll probably be writing articles and making zines, you know. Like, to me, that would be cool. I'll still be getting information out there. And back in the day, before radio and zines and before podcast, there was this is where the phrase like get off your soapbox came from. People used to literally get a soapbox, put it on the street corner, and talk to the world about their thoughts and feelings and like conspiracy and, you know, Yeah, that's where the phrase "get off your soapbox." So like, even people think, I don't have money for a podcast. I don't have money to write a zine. I don't have money for radio. Okay, so do like the old days. Get a soapbox. Especially if you live in a big city, just make up some handmade flyers. Go to the corner and start talking to people, man. You know, that's how they did it back in the day. So yeah, I've just been having a little bit of trouble with my channel, and a lot of it is my fault. Like, I wanted to get into this of like, yesterday the debate happened, and I almost put out a poll if you guys wanted me to cover it live. But here's the thing, and this is because of my ignorance, and I am a busy dude. Like, here lately I've been working 50 hours a week. So this whole podcasting thing, most of it's off the cuff, and I do it before work. Try to give you some content and shit, and I just like to talk. My wife is the tech savvy one. She helps me with videos until I learn how to, like I said, I mentioned it in like either the last episode or the episode before, that we got a new movie maker. It's Filmora. So, which actually, it's kind of cool. She picked up a zine. We were talking about zines. She picked up a zine from the library of free classes and programs and shit that they're doing at the library, and they're actually having a class on how to learn and do Filmora. I might actually ask off and see if I can go with her, because I need to learn, and it would technically be work related, not to my current job, but to what I want to do as a living in general. Like, this would be my dream job. This is what I want to be my dream job. So I'd go up there with a little notebook and backpack like I'm going to school and learn how to do this shit. But yesterday, I ain't gonna lie, like, I've been working overtime, so I worked 6 days a week this week, and I wanted to go do a historical tour at a local place called Waveland. It's an old mansion where they do tours. I wanted to do that, and I knew that the debate was going on yesterday. I was hearing 2 different times. I had one guy who was telling me it was going to happen at 9, and then another one saying it was going to happen at 7:30. By the time I got home and shit, where I work third shift, I got home like 8 o'clock, ate dinner, went to sleep, got back up around 11. We went on that tour at 1:30 or 1 of those times. I think 1:30. And when I got home, I just went back to sleep. Didn't really wake up in time to do the live stream, but if I did do the live stream, I was telling my wife what I was going to do was set up a camera, so that way it's all getting recorded if I have to put it out at a later time. And here's one good thing about YouTube, is YouTube, they might be assholes and cracking down on shit and being more hateful and shittier to conspiracy content creators, but I genuinely think we are winning as conspiracy theorists, because YouTube is figuring out that a lot of their creators were like conspiracy channels, and even like non-conspiracy channels are noticing how strict YouTube is, like as far as strikes and shit, just how strict their rules are. And this is not me talking good about YouTube, but it's just something I've noticed. Like, I've been a content creator on YouTube for 7 years. So I've seen how YouTube has changed throughout the years. And one of the ways that it has changed is, back in the day, you used to have to have 1,000 subscribers to even qualify for monetization. Now they've actually lowered that bar to where you have to have so many certain amount of views. And I can't remember, it was somebody else explaining to me, but they did lower the bar to where I might be eligible for monetization. I still have to look into it. And I think you can even, it's not full monetization, it's monetization on certain videos. Like, I have certain videos that were like bangers of videos. My first banger of a video was me reporting on the arrest of Secure Team 10. And it freaked me the fuck out. Like, I remember when I put that video out, it was just me talking about it. I didn't think it was going to be a banger, because like the most views I would get on a video would be like 200 views tops, and I would get excited over that. And I mean, within an hour of me putting that video out, I was watching it grow, texting my wife like, "Oh my God, my channel's blowing up." She's like, "What? What's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, I did a video on Secure Team 10 about his DUI arrest and the accusations of him beating up his wife and shit, and just getting into the drama of that." And like, it was growing within an hour. I was like, what the fuck? I earned a lot of subs from that shit. I didn't think that many people really cared that much about ufology, really. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the qualifications, they've dropped the bar, so you can monetize certain videos and shit as long as there's like a certain amount of views and shit. So I may be eligible, I don't know. But that's one thing that they made easier on YouTube and dropped the bar on. And if we got time, I'm going to get into something here, something that I noticed yesterday, and talk about that for a little bit. But the live stream, I didn't do it because I was asleep, and the only way that I could have... Oh, that's another thing. That's what I was going to talk about. Here's another way that YouTube has lowered the bar as far as qualifications. They let me do one live stream way back in the day. And I was talking about, it might even be on my podcast list. If you're on a podcasting website listening, you might be able to find it. I talked about my first and only demonic experience of actually seeing a demon face to face when I was a child. At least at the time, I thought it was a demon. Now that I'm older and done more research, it could have been a jinn. It could have been an interdimensional being. It could have been a lowercase god. I don't know what it was. I really don't know, but I have like broadened my horizon on my theory of it, of what was this thing. Fuck. Technical difficulties. Sorry, man. I just try not to have eavesdroppers because we're getting into some deep convo. That and my car's ghetto. Hang on a second. Let me let it run for a little bit. But yeah, I've actually changed my thoughts on if that was a demonic experience or not. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Should be on YouTube. If not, it's on one of my podcasting platforms. Who knows? It was my first live stream ever. But the whole point of that was they let me live stream one time and then they took it away from me and said, no, you have to be monetized. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to even be able to live stream now. And where they have dropped the bar for monetization and for live streaming now, they did that also. So I can live stream now. So that's one good thing YouTube's doing, you know. I do have to say, like, even though I hate YouTube, it's almost a necessary unhealthy relationship. And no offense, I'm gonna kind of hate on you all for a little bit, because all these people, they won't get off YouTube. I keep hearing in comment sections, YouTube sucks, man. Every channel I love is either quitting or going somewhere else, and you can't say anything on here, you can't get the truth out, and they all bitch and moan about YouTube, and I keep saying, get off of YouTube. Like, there's BitChute, there's Rumble, there's Spotify. Like, people complain about Spotify. I've never been censored for anything on Spotify. I don't know what they're talking about censorship on Spotify. BitChute is completely uncensored. Like, you can literally find, like, Aryan Brotherhood documentaries on how evil the Jews are on there and shit. Like, crazy conspiracy shit you can find on Spotify. Or not Spotify, BitChute. Rumble, haven't really heard much about Rumble. The only thing I've heard bad about it is it's Canadian owned, so I think that it'll have its downfall one day. I'm gonna start a channel on there. I just need the time to do it. That's honestly my biggest issue, is time. Time, who's got the time? Struggling to have time. Just working 50 hours a week. It's hard to find time to do this shit and also have a life to where I'm spending time with my wife, you know, having fun on days off and shit. It's just been hectic. But I was going to live stream the debate through my phone, facing it towards the television screen. Have it loud enough to where you could hear the debate, but you could also hear me comment on it, because I don't know how to do screen share. I don't know how to live stream to where you can see me, see the screen, have live comments. I don't know how to do all that fucking shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to do that shit. My wife doesn't know how to do that shit. And this is why I'm going to do some classes and shit, like this Filmora class. I'm going to try to ask off so I can learn how to work with this new movie maker program. Because there's a lot of shit that I want to do. I just don't know how to fucking do it. And my wife doesn't know how to do it. So honestly, we need to take the time, if we can, which I'm getting a vacation in July, so hopefully during that week we can do some homework and figure out how to do this shit so I can live stream a non-ghetto way. Because that's how I was going to do the debate, was record through my phone, read the comments through my phone, have it facing the TV and facing me while I'm commenting on it. Like, it was going to be ghetto. So I'm like, people probably wouldn't even watch that shit. People would jump on and go, this sucks, and then jump off, because they would do hateful comments like that, because That's the internet. Another reason I didn't watch the live stream of it is, I'm gonna be quite honest, part of the reason I didn't live stream it was I had no interest in it. I'm not voting for Trump. I voted for Trump the last election, so before anyone starts commenting, you have TDS, you're a communist, you're Antifa, you're a liberal. Well, first of all, I am a classic liberal, but Trump was a Democrat his whole life, and Trump is honestly, for the most part, kind of a classic liberal. I didn't change. The party lines changed. The political scale spectrum changed, not me. Part of the reason I just wasn't interested in it, like the whole time, I'm a RFK supporter and I'm gonna vote for RFK. I've said that many a time on this channel, but if you haven't been watching this channel, there you go. To me, it would have been like watching someone kick a puppy. And, the contrarian that I was talking about at work, he's like, I don't know about that. I don't know why you would compare Joe Biden to a puppy. Like, because I don't know. He's honestly, I love him to death, but he's a real heartless dude. And I'm like, because that's what it would be. It would literally be Trump coming in and kicking a puppy. Like, we already know he's gonna fucking lose. Biden's gonna fucking get demolished. So that was one of the reasons I didn't even want to watch it. The only reason I was gonna watch it was because I knew it would be a banger on the channel. And everyone else is talking about it. Everyone else wants to watch it for some reason. I don't understand. I really don't understand how you would want to watch a fixed fight, you know? Like, can you imagine if they did the same thing with any other sport? Because I consider politics a sport. To me, it's pro wrestling. Can you imagine if they were like, Mike Tyson versus a newborn baby, you know? And that's why I compare Joe Biden to a puppy. It's like, why would you want to watch somebody kick a puppy? Because it's like, you already know he's going to get wrecked. The only way that he would stand any form of chance is if they were like literally shooting him up with like fucking liquid speed into his bloodstream, like giving him Adderall, making him do lines of coke. Like, there's no way that he's gonna fucking stand any form of chance, man. He's too senile, he's too tired. And from what I've seen of just clips here and there, I haven't even barely delved into the actual debate now that it's over. It's exactly what I thought it would be, a complete shit show. Trump just fucking railroaded him and completely destroyed him from what I'm hearing. I already knew what was going to happen, so why would I watch it? I wanted to see Trump debate RFK. That's what I want to see. That's what I wanted to see. That was another reason why I didn't even really want to live stream it, was I just wanted to see Trump debate RFK. To me, they're mentally sound, both of them. They're both articulate. And RFK has been challenging Trump. He hasn't even been challenging Biden, I don't think. I think he's just been, I want you, Trump, I want you. He's been challenging him, and Trump's just been like, nah, not interested. And it's like, yeah, because you know he would actually put up a fight. That was another reason, like, I didn't really want to watch it, because it's like, you have an actual equal opponent who would put up a good fight. And instead you chose like the little kid in the corner. To me, that's like playground bullying in elementary school. Like, you got this little kid, you're going to steal his lunch money. You know, Trump being the bully who's going to steal this little kid's lunch money. And then some other dude walks up who's the same size, can fight just as good, and is like, I'll fight you. And he's just like, this has nothing to do with you. Step off, get away. I want to fight this little kid who's going to get his ass kicked. To me, it was just like, dude, no, I don't know. People apparently wanted to watch it. I don't know if these are like hardcore Trump guys or Republicans or QAnon people, but everyone wanted to see Trump versus Biden. And I'm like, I'd rather see Trump versus RFK. That's just me. It would have been an awesome fucking debate. They would have been... Actually, I ain't gonna lie. I was even telling my wife, I think it might have even turned out a tie. If RFK and Trump were debating each other, I think it would have actually turned out a fucking tie. And I'll talk shit on both candidates. Like, I noticed that Trump doesn't like to answer questions. He'll go off the script and they'll ask him a certain question. I noticed that from the clips I was watching, that they would ask, like, one of the things was specifically, they were like, hey, if this election goes through, are you going to question it? And he went off on some tangent, and the lady had to go, okay, that's not what I asked. If this election goes through, are you going to question it? Then he finally answered. So he does kind of not answer questions. And I've noticed that about Trump, not even in debates, but within interviews. I was telling my wife about this, that there was an interview they did with him, and they were asking him, like, what's your relationship with God? And he was just kind of like, well, I got a lot of people praying for me. Yeah, I got a lot of people praying for me. I believe in God. And he just, like, he spent like 5 minutes giving this whole conversation about his spirituality, but like he didn't really answer the question. It was all just like, I don't know. That's just what I noticed with Trump. To me, if I was a politician, if they would ask me what's my relationship with God, I would say, here's my actual response. I would have said, well, first of all, what God are you referring to? Because I believe in the creator of all, if you want to put a name to it, Hu, H-U. Source, you can call it source. I believe in the Sumerian creator of all. So if you're talking about that specific God, my relationship with him is, or with it, because I don't even believe it's a guy or a girl, I just believe it's a non-gendered entity. I believe that it is omniscient and above gender and sex. And then if it is at a gender, it would be like hermaphroditic. But what is my relationship with the creator of all? Pretty good. I feel love when I speak to it. I pray to it. I notice that when I do what it tells me to do, and it doesn't audibly come in, I just get feelings, and I go off those feelings of it telling me what it wants for my life, and I follow its directions, and life goes smoothly. When I go against its directions, life go horribly and rough. I believe that it shows me signs throughout the day. I believe that it gives me downloads. I believe... and also when I pray to it, I don't ask for things. I do ask for things every now and then, but most of the time I got everything I need, and I just pray to it, telling it that I love it, and I pray prayers of thankfulness to it. I don't think you should pray just when you need to ask for something. I think you should pray every day, multiple times a day, thanking it for a good day, for food, for stability. You should be thanking it for everything. The clothes on your back, the animals that you have, the wife that you have, the kids that you have, the food that you have, the electricity and water that you have. I thank it for small things. I'll take a bath and go, thank you, creator of all, for that bath. I'll eat food. Thank you for that food. Me and my wife will go months without an argument. I'll go, thank you for the security of my relationship. I pray without ceasing. That's what I believe you should do. That would have been my answer. I think that's a clear, amazing answer, which I've been told before I should be a politician, because I think that's the type of answer I would have given. And then watch me not get votes because I'm not a Christian. That's what would happen. I wouldn't get any fucking votes because people would be like, creator of all, Hugh, it. He keeps calling it it. He's a Satanist. I don't know how you got Satanist out of that, but okay. Yeah. The only problem I would have seen with a debate between him and RFK Jr. is Trump likes to talk over, and RFK obviously has a problem with his voice. If you haven't listened to any of his interviews, he talks like this. And I'm not making fun of him because I love RFK. And one day I'll probably have throat surgery because of this, cigarettes, but that and heartburn. But yeah, he sucks talking. And it's not his fault. But I think that it would have been, they would have had to turn his mic like up super high. Trump, I feel like, would have just kept talking over him and he wouldn't have been able to respond. And most people would have seen that as, oh, look at RFK, he's an idiot. He can't even get, 2 words out. And it's like, well, he can, but you would have to cut people's mics off if RFK was debating, because there's no way that he can sit here and talk over someone who's talking over him. Does that make sense? He doesn't have a voice. And a lot of people see that as a weakness of, oh, well, he shouldn't even be running for president if he can't even talk. And I don't know. I think that's kind of fucked up, because it's like, he's mentally competent. He's physically ripped. I mean, he just is, He's like, I think he's like 50, maybe 60s, and he looks better than me with his shirt off. No homo. But he's fucking jacked, dude. And he puts out videos all the time, because I sub to him on YouTube. He's always putting out videos. He's like either swimming in the ocean, he's surfing. He put a video out of him surfing, weightlifting. He's a weightlifter. Like, the dude is physically fucking fit, man. He's always traveling and doing crazy ass shit, like surfing and safaris. And I'm like, that's what I like to see as far as an older man who's going to run the country, of like someone that you could go hiking with, and he'd be like, all right, come on, Abe, let's go hiking 10 miles today. And I'd be like, 10 miles? Like, I'm used to just hiking 5 miles, bro. You're going to do 10? Okay, here we go, Mr. President. That's what I want to see. Someone who's physically jacked. All right, so I'm enough. I'm done being gay for RFK. Gay for RFK. I'll stop talking about his body. Hey, I'm confident in my sexuality. But that's what I wanted to see, and I didn't want to put out a live stream and get hate, and I just wanted it to be decent. One thing I did notice, though, and I didn't know this, that the actual debate was going to be live streamed through CNN. I didn't realize they were putting a 3-minute delay on it. So that's fishy as fuck. And I did notice that people were putting out videos of the actual live stream of Joe Biden talking. And there was several points where it was like a garbled mess. But then when you watched it on today's news broadcast of it, it seemed like it was edited and fixed. And we seen this happen with the last Super Bowl, Superb Owl. We seen this happen with that, where I think it was Alicia Keys was singing and she hit a note that sucked during the live broadcasting of the Super Bowl. And then they edited it later and broadcast it that she hit the note perfectly. And people were noticing that whole 1984 editing, 1984 let's control reality, let's control history, basically. Fishy shit. 1984, man. This is the type of shit that they're gonna do, is control the narrative, control reality. I think I'm gonna look over. Yeah, I think honestly, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to make this episode of why I didn't watch the debate, why I didn't live stream the debate. I might just title this episode Presidential Debate 2024, my thoughts on it. Hope you enjoyed. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a good day.